In today's video, I'm going to give you words that begin with EU or the words that have EU as a prefix. Why I'm making this video is because time and again I personally feel you get very easily the words if you want to acquire new vocabulary. The words are very easily available everywhere. They are on the internet. You can acquire new vocabulary with the help of books, and you also get to know the meaning of those words. But the problem is it is very difficult to understand, and it is very difficult to keep in mind as to when those words are used in daily conversation. That is the main problem with most of the learners who are acquiring, who are trying to learn more and more new words. So I thought that I should try to find a way with the help of which the viewers, the students who are really into learning English language, who are really inquisitive and who really want to capture new words, learn new words. So this trick is for them, with the help of which in one go you get to see multiple words, you get to learn multiple vocabs. So today's video is about EU as a prefix. Now first of all we need to know that EU is, all the words in English language are taken that begin with EU or that have EU as a prefix are taken from the ancient Greek. Okay, and the meaning of EU is well, or something that is good. Okay, so I will give you, in this video I will give you all the words as much as I can that have EU as a prefix. Beginning with the first word is euphoria. Euphoria. Now you can break this word into two. The first is EU plus four O's. Okay, EU means good. Okay, EU means good, and foros means to carry or to being. The simple way or the simple meaning of euphoria is a statement, it is a state of mind where a person is really happy and excited at the same time. Okay? If I give you a statement, the meaning of it is when a person is happy and excited at the same time. Okay? Sentence with euphoria would be something like this: I was filled with euphoria when I got to know my marks. Okay? Or the team was filled with euphoria when the team defeated the opposition team, or when the team defeated so and so country in cricket match, in football match, whatever it is. So euphoria stands for EU plus foros, okay, which means when a person is filled with happy and excitement. Now moving to next word, which is eology. Eology, okay. You can break this word into two: EU plus logos, okay. And the meaning of logos is, this is speech. This is good speech. You know, generally eology, people say eology when a person, passes away. The words when a person is praising the person who is dead, the words that are said in his praise, people are talking about how good a person was. So that talk or that those words are called eology. Okay, when people praise a person who is no longer alive, the person is, the person has passed away. Okay, that is eology. One more word with EU is eolize. Okay, this or this, somewhere or the other, they are the same, but over here, if somebody is praising someone, and the person who is praising the other person is very much alive, okay, in that case we say the person is eulizing the other person. For instance, if I tell you, the teacher was eulizing the students for his hard work as he had attained full marks in his exams. Okay, when the other person, when a person is being praised, and he's very much alive. जिंदा है वो, ठीक है? Now moving to third word that begins with EU is euphemism. Okay, I'm writing with black marker. Okay. Euphemism. Now what does euphemism means? You know, there are two ways of telling bad news to somebody, or saying, if you want to deliver, if you want to say certain thing which is not in the favor of the other person. Either you can say it directly, or you can very wisely and very politely use such words that they, the other person don't get offended. All right, when such words are being used, in that case we say euphemism. For instance, if I tell you a company, it is going into losses, and instead of saying, now as the company is in losses, the company has to fire its workers. So instead of saying firing the workers, the company will not directly say the firing the workers. The company might use some other word, some other better word, instead of saying firing the workers. All right. Or if I say if I say a neighbor of mine has passed away, instead of saying a neighbor of mine has died. Died doesn't sound good, okay? So it is in a gist, you can understand that euphemism is a way of saying things in a polite manner, okay? In a polite manner, so that the person on the other hand doesn't get offended. Euphemism, okay? Now coming to fifth word, which is euphoria, eulogy, eulogize, euphemism, euthanasia. Okay, you can break this word into two: eu plus thanatos, which means death. Now what is this euthanasia? Please see my vocabulary videos, short videos. I have made a detailed video on what is euthanasia. When a person is being given death, mind my words, the person is being given death by Supreme Court, or by because the person is considered to be brain dead due to some injury or due to some XYZ reason. Okay, the person is very much there. Okay, he is awake but he is not aware. The person is brain dead. His all the organs in his body might be functioning properly. Okay, but due to his brain, which is considered to be, which is said that the brain is dead, the person is kind of, you can say that the person is of no use, or the person is in a vegetative state where all his organs are working. He is into my medical condition, life support has been given to that person. Okay, so that is called euthanasia. A recent a very landmark judgment has been passed by Supreme Court, in which a person who was into kind of a coma, he was in a state of, he was in a vegetative state, and after 13 years the Supreme Court has said, after the doctor's advice, after the recommendations of the medical team, that the condition of the person cannot be reversed. Okay, it is going to deteriorate only. So the person has been given euthanasia. Okay, so this means, euthanasia simply means when a person is being given death. Okay. Now there are two types of euthanasia. One is active, one is passive. That is why I am saying do watch my short video on euthanasia. I made a detailed video on that. Okay. So this is the word euthanasia. Now coming to my favorite out of all the words, utopia. Utopia. The spelling of utopia would be this also. Now what does this mean, utopia? This is very much popular in English literature, and this concept was, first of all let me break the word. Okay, the word is something like this: eu plus topos. Okay, topo stands for place and EU stands for good. Now what happens is in English literature or in any type of literature, the poets or the writers, they form a place which is imaginative, mind my words. They form an imaginative place where everything is perfect. Alright? Perfect in the sense there is no poverty. First thing. Wealth is equally distributed amongst the all, and there is no discrimination on the basis of caste, color, religion. There is religious tolerance. Such a society is being created by the writers, to represent to the people that such a society should be, such a best society should be. And this concept, for the first time, it was created by Thomas More, I guess, in the year 1615, in which he discovered, in which he wrote about an imaginative island. Okay, in the year 1615 by Thomas More. So utopia means good place. Okay. Now seventh word with EU is eupeptic. Eupeptic. Okay, which can be broken into EU plus pepsis. The meaning of EU is good and pepsis is digestion. Okay, when a person has good digestion, then we say that the person is eupeptic. For instance, if I give an example, now this has two meanings. One is literal and one is figurative meaning. By literal meaning, as I told you, if a person's digestion is good, then we say that the person is eupeptic. Even at the age of 70, the person is eupeptic, or the old man is eupeptic because of his healthy good habits. Alright, another example of this figurative meaning of eupeptic would be the host welcomed his guests with eupeptic smile. He was happy that so many guests have arrived, and he was happy with with all the guests coming into his house. So he was giving a eupeptic smile. Okay, let me write the statement so that you get an idea. Eupeptic: the old man was eupeptic or is eupeptic, the person is alive, even at 70, due to his good habits or healthy eating habits. Eupeptic. One more word is there, where shall I write it? Which is eustress. Eustress. EUSTRES, which simply means stress that is good. Stress that is good. Okay. Again, you can break the word into two. EU plus stress. EU stands for good, good stress. Sometimes eustress is good for us. It keeps us healthy. It keeps us awake. We are always in the competitive mood, that we have to study hard, we have to work hard. Okay. So sometimes eustress is good. So now in this video, I've given you around 8 words. Trust me, there are many more. If you know the root meaning of all these words, you know that, okay, the words have been taken from ancient Greek, and EU stands for good or well. Trust me, this trick or this formula will help you in learning vocabulary. What you have to do is you just have to go through my video once, twice. If you're making notes, well and good. Make a notebook, write down the words that you find, and also mention that, okay, this word has been taken from ancient Greek. EU stands for good or well. Then you can make a list, write of all the words that are written on the board. If you want, you can also try to frame the sentences with these words. Alright? Until and unless you will not make an effort to learn new vocabulary, if you do not have that desire to learn things. See, I really sat down one day, as the people who are watching me, they must be aware of the fact that time and again I do make videos on vocabulary. I was sitting one day and I was thinking that what should I do so that my viewers, my students who are really interested in learning new vocabulary, they should not face problem. I should try to find out a solution to it. and I realized that I should give my viewers the root meaning, the derivation, the language from where the words are being taken in English language. This will help you. Now in one go, with this one trick, you are familiar, you have in a way acquainted. I would not say you have learned these words, but in a way you are being acquainted with these 8 words. Okay, so this is a trick which I feel will help you certainly in learning new vocabulary. Thank you for watching and being with me.